And so on one hand, you're sending asteroids to another planet to colonize it. Going about 40,000 miles an hour, it would still take you thousands, if not millions of years to reach the opposite side of the galaxy. Not to mention, by the time the asteroid would have gotten there, with all that passage of time, our planet would be like off by just enough because we're not in exactly the same spot anymore.
Yes.
So again, like I said, it in the movie, it happens from like that. They spot the asteroid, they miss it, it hits Earth. We're at war with bugs.
Yeah.
So essentially, if you were to use realism,
logic,
there's a good chance by the time that rock hit Earth, we probably won't even be a thing anymore.
That's true.
So
the atmosphere has a tendency to eat stuff.
It does. So that's even if this asteroid landed on Earth, whatever was inside it probably wouldn't have survived. But I digress. You're welcome, America.
Although I will say this. Not necessarily like the best space film, but one of my favorites is the original Alien.
Yes.
Like it's not super far-fetched as far as like futuristic 80s stuff was. And I hate having to use the term futuristic 80s, but it is.
They did the future what they thought the future would have looked like at its time, but of course it looks troglodyte compared to what we have now.
Vastly different by sheer comparison.
It's not what Avatar is, where like you can look at a big screen and then grab it and throw it onto a small screen like he does in the lab. I'm like, what?
Yeah. But that Tony Stark technology.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's like Alien is fantasticized, but at the same time, it does hold that modicum of realism because of what the creature you're looking at is. Because that would truly be something that would exist on a planet that like humans simply can't.
Like I said, that's kind of going back to what I was talking about earlier. And if you went to another planet and there was like that's the thing, evolutionarily speaking, small instances happened which led to us. Case in point, we would not be here if it weren't for the extinction of the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
As a result, small shrew-like animals eventually led to us, and you're kind of thinking, like, well, how is that possible? Case in point, about 50 million years ago, there was a small, maybe like a small dog-sized animal called Pachycetus. It was located in Pakistan. It basically just kind of looked like your household, like not cat, but like dog with like an elongated skull. Mm. Eventually, this thing took to water and led to whales.
Yep.
For the most part, Pachycetus translates to whale from Pakistan.
Yeah. Literal salty sea dogs.
So is that like kind of give me an idea like just how evolution kind of leads to thing. Case in point, we trace our lineage to like ancient Africa. Like in Ethiopia, where the first primates through evolutionary advantages developed the ability to walk upright. And by doing so, it allowed them to walk greater distances, be able to see further ahead.
Yes.
And just by those small adaptations alone, over the course of 3 million years, led to us.
Yes. Post-Australopithecus.
Yes. Very good. I'm very impressed you know that.
I've been watching a lot of documentaries. Lots of things voiced by people who talk like this.
Fucking nerd.
Like, I fall asleep to space documentaries all the time, but since I started getting into the whole, like, history of life on the planet that we know of, I mean, like, space becomes not necessarily second nature, but the more that you look into it, the more normalized things become.
A little bit, yeah.
But with, like, the history of the planet, it's like you don't have that tangibility that you would have with, like, looking at stuff through a telescope. So you're looking at something that once existed, I guess is the best way to say it. It's like, even, like, in the context of, like, Australopithecus, And then rolling back to like that conspiracy theory, like who's to say that Australopithecus didn't get smart enough to build a ship and leave the planet? And now Bigfoot is the Australopithecus more advanced coming back to check out what we are.
Yeah, right?
Like, again, heavy conspiracy.
Yeah.
Not really something that I believe in, but it's my favorite conspiracy theory.
My theory is that at one point in time, there must have been a creature that lived in North America that looked very simian-like, that Native Americans have, wrote stories about, and if not, probably hunted to extinction.
That's true. That also kind of gives credibility to, like, skinwalkers.
Yeah.
Like humans taking the form of animals.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Well, case in point, in prehistoric China, I want to say about 100,000 years ago, there was Gigantopithecus.
Yeah. Which, by the way, their record keeping, immaculate.
What's that?
The Chinese invented paper.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's like their record keeping is literally as far back as we can possibly remember.
I thought the Egyptians invented paper. Papyrus.
They invented papyrus. It's different.
Okay. Well, anyway. Again, fucking nerd. Anyway. So I said, essentially, but can I give you an idea? So Gigantopithecus would have resembled what like a modern day orangutan would have looked like. However, this thing was 10 feet tall and weighed about 1,000 pounds, if not more. So it pretty much would have looked like a typical maybe Sasquatch.
It's an orangutan, but the size of two gorillas standing on each other's shoulders.
Pretty much, yeah, and weighing twice as much. So
I think I do remember looking this up. We like found teeth.
A jawbone and teeth were discovered,
Yeah.
and like were being sold in a market. And when they found it, they're like, "Hold on!" So they determined that it would belong to like a giant great ape, essentially, and so my thing is I'm willing to bet between the land bridge between the Bering Strait and connecting Asian North America, I'm willing to bet maybe at some point something similar to it probably migrated over to North America along with like the mammoths, the woolly rhinos. Our earliest the earliest humans came over from the Bering Strait, and this whatever it was probably became a different subspecies, set up shop here in North America, and naturally got either hunted to extinction or died out because of the Ice Age.
Yeah, which unfortunately happens way too often when you start looking at ancient history. A lot of stuff like the Ice Age and then hunting things to extinction made discovering species way harder than it needed to be.
Oh yeah.
We're very, very good at inconveniencing ourselves when you start looking back over human history. But
I mean, we killed off the dodo bird just because we could. No, for real, because the dodo bird lived on the island of Mauritius.
Yeah.
And it had no natural predators. So literally, you could walk right up to a dodo bird and just smack the shit out of it. And it wouldn't walk away because it had nothing to fear.
Yeah.
So it was kind of hunted into extinction for both sport and I believe for its meat. Essentially, it was like a oversized, weird looking penguin for the most part. So essentially, humans were kind of like, since it couldn't run away, there was no need to sneak up on it literally, there's whole records of because I think the dodo bird went extinct in like the 1700s, 17 or 1800s. It's relatively time wise really recent.
Yeah.
But literally, there's records of people just straight up walking straight up to a dodo bird, and just whacking it with a bat and killing it.
No.
Because it had no natural predators, so it wouldn't fly off. Well, it couldn't fly off because it was a flightless bird, but it wouldn't run away.
That's true.
So, typical fashion, we hunted it because we could.
Yeah, the polar opposite of what is it? The cassowary.
Oh, fucking cassowaries, man!
the Australian flightless bird that they literally went to war with,
the
with
New Zealand
soldiers.
Yeah, the New Zealand bird. Oh god, those things are terrifying.